Welcome back, my lovely citizens, and today we are going to be going over a VGC Series 1 team where the main win condition is Annihilape. Annihilape is a Pokemon that is fighting Ghost. It is a new evolution of Primeape that basically gets so angry that it dies. So, to start off with this set, we have Defiant, which, when this Pokemon's stats are lowered at all, its attack stage is raised by 2, so if someone sends out an Intimidator and lowers your attack, it'll raise back up by 2 stages, meaning you'll be at +1 instead of -1, which is really good in a format that has any sort of Intimidators. We have Punching Glove, which makes our punch-based attacks do 1.1 times damage, and avoid adverse contact effects, for example, Rough Skin or Iron Barbs. So if we hit anything with Rough Skin like a Garchomp, we won't be taking any damage from that ability. On top of that, we have Rage Fist, which is an insane move that does 50 damage, plus 50 base power, and does 50 more base power for each time this Pokemon has been hit. So this can go up to 250 base power, which is insane. On top of that, we also have Drain Punch, which is also boosted by Punching Glove. This recovers 50% of damage dealt to yourself, so you can stay alive for a lot longer. On top of that, we have Bulk Up to raise our attack and defense by 1 stage, and then we have Protect to avoid any critical damage that might be coming into our Annihilape while dealing with any threats with our partner at any given point. We have 20 HP EVs, 252 attack EVs, and jolly 236 speed EVs, and this is specifically to speed creep Baxcalibur and Glimmora, so that's very important. Being able to outspeed Glimmora and Baxcalibur in this format is a very good thing to have. It's not necessary, like we could do Adamant instead of Jolly if we want to speed creep something different, but I chose to go Jolly for this set because it outspeeds a prevalent hazard setter as well as a very, very high damage dragon attacker in the meta. So, moving on to the next one, we have Maushold, which has the ability Friend Guard. Friend Guard makes your allies receive 3/4 damage from other Pokemon's attacks. So it is a little bit of a defense buff for our partner Annihilape. The primary partner to this Pokemon will be your Annihilape, however this will work for any of your other allies as well. On top of that, we have Covert Cloak, which prevents us from being fake out flinched, which is very nice. We have Super Fang for being able to chip down our opponent's health. It's a 90% accuracy move that cuts our opponent's health down to half. On top of that, we have Beat Up, which you might think, this is a little dark type attack that can chip our opponents. Nope, this is meant to hit into our Annihilape. So, Annihilape's Rage Fist increases by 50 base power every time it's hit. Maushold with Beat Up, will do so it'll do 3 hits with Beat Up because we'll have 3 remaining party members because it's a 4v4 format in VGC. So this Beat Up will hit Annihilape 3 times, which means that it'll jump from 50 base power to 200 base power on the turn that we use this. This is also the primary reason why we're going Punching Glove on Annihilape instead of Choice Scarf, is so Maushold outspeeds the Annihilape, hits it with Beat Up, and then Annihilape can Rage Fist for a massive amount of damage. On top of that, we also have Follow Me. This can take the focus off of our Annihilape or any of our other partners to be able to let them set up or let them hit something uncontested, which is nice when we're going a bulky, fast set with 252 HP EVs, with 252 speed EVs, and 4 in attack just for good measure in case we want Beat Up to chip something a little bit more. Realistically, that 4 in attack could be either in defense or special defense as well, and we also have Protect in case we think someone is going to be focusing down the Maushold. Terra-type Ghost is also a very good defensive typing, because if someone's trying to hit this with a fighting-type move, Terra-type Ghost swaps it to an immunity, which is very good. Again, we have Jolly Speed maxed out, we have maxed out HP, and we have 4 in attack, but this could also be in either defense or special defense. probably defense because that's the most likely thing that's going to be hitting into it. This format has a lot of physical attackers. Going back to Annihilape real quick, we also have Terra-type Ghost on this to give the Rage Fist Super Stab. Forgot to cover that at first, but hopping back to that just to mention that real fast. Then we have Farigiraf, which I very much like. I love this Pokemon. We gave this one a Focus Sash, so it's just a modest, fast attacker. We put as much as possible into our speed here, but the main reason this is on the team is for Armor Tail. Armor Tail says this Pokemon and its allies are protected from opposing priority moves. This means that if you're under Tailwind and your Annihilape is just outspeeding and killing everything, there's no way that a Pokemon can come in and priority attack KO the Annihilape in order to remove it from the field. You can protect your allies from priority with this. This will stop Shadow Sneak, this will stop Fake Out, this will stop Bullet Punch, Aqua Jet, etc., etc. Anything with priority, it'll stop. It stops your allies and itself from being affected by priority moves. Unlike Friend Guard, this affects both Pokemon, not just the ally. Then we have Psyshock, which is a Psychic-type special move that does damage based on your opponent's defense instead of their special defense. So it's nice when your opponent has a high special defense, but you want to hit it for its lack of defensive capabilities, which is nice. Then we also have Tera Blast, which is stab normal before you Terrastalize, but after you Terrastalize, it'll be stab fairy, because we are Terra-type fairy. So Tera Blast on Farigiraf is very good, because you can utilize it for just its stab normal, or you can Terra-type to fairy to hit a single target for stab fairy. We also have Dazzling Gleam, which is good for hitting both opponents, and when we Terra-type to fairy, it'll be doing more damage with stab fairy as well. Then we also have Protect. Obviously, it's just an amazing move in VGC. If you predict that someone is going to be hitting into this Pokemon, you might as well Protect, remove the damage, and remove it with your other Pokemon. Then we have the 252 Special Attack, 252 Speed, and just 4 in Special Defense for good measure. Moving on to Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl is a very good support mon in this meta. It has Prankster, which means that its moves that are status moves have +1 priority, which means that Parting Shot has priority, Thunder Wave has priority, Fake Out already had priority, and then we also have Spirit Break, which does 75 base power fairy type move, which will be stab because we're a fairy type, and it has a 100% chance to lower the target special attack by 1. We kept ourselves Terra Dark just because it makes this Pokemon, or keeps its immunity to other Prankster moves, which is nice when there's things like Murkrow in the format, and this'll outspeed other Grimmsnarls just because of the speed EVs that we gave it, as well as being able to threaten Murkrow with the Fairy Stab move that we have. Then we have Citrus Berry, which restores 1/4 of max HP when at half max HP or less and is single use. So say we get hit for like 56%, we'll gain 25%, and then would be able to take another 56% hit as well. So it's very nice to be able to have Citrus Berry. It helps us live a little bit longer. Realistically, this Terra type could also be Fairy. Fairy is a decent type as well, and also would give Spirit Break Super Stab. So that's something to consider as well. We're adamant here so we don't lose any EVs when we're EV training this, because our attack is the highest stat that we have by far. We've maxed out our HP with an even number in HP, so Citrus Berry triggers 1 HP earlier, and then we have 116 in defense and 36 in special defense. I feel like this is a good spread. This could be moved around a little bit. You could lower the speed, although I would keep it at least 4, so you're outspeeding other Grimmsnarls. I forget what specifically the 26 was supposed to be speed creeping, because I made this before leaving for NAIC, but I'm pretty sure it was something meta-relevant. We also have the 36 in special defense and 116 in defense, but you could swap this around or invest a little bit more into one area more than another, depending on your situation. Moving on to Glimmora. Glimmora is our hazard setter primarily. This has the ability Toxic Debris, which when it is hit by a physical attack, toxic spikes are set around the attacker. So when toxic spikes comes in, anytime your opponent swaps in with a Pokemon, it will poison them, which means that they'll be slowly chipping down their health while you're going, which means that Annihilape can very easily take out some of the remaining stragglers on a team. You could start, there's a lot of different leads to this team. You could start Glimmora Salamence, you could start Glimmora Grimmsnarl to set hazards and then lower their offenses, or set hazards and also set Tailwind. Or you could also start Annihilape Maushold and then just go beat up into Annihilape and just put on some early pressure as well. There are really good lead combinations in this. You could also go Farigiraf Salamence potentially, block your team for priority moves. There's a lot of different combinations that you could start with. I think if you're leading with Maushold, though, you're also leading with Annihilape. But then we also have Air Balloon. We have a 4x ground weakness, which means the Air Balloon gives us an immunity to that temporarily, and if they want to pop it, they have to hit us first, which, if it's a physical move, will also be setting Toxic Debris. We can also set Stealth Rock if they try to focus us down specifically with special moves and not physical moves, which means that we'll also be hitting flying types and poison types for a little bit of chip damage as well. And we also have Power Gem, which is a stab rock type special move. There's not very many special rock moves, so this is nice to have. We have Sludge Wave, which hits both opponents and is base power 95 with 10% to poison Pokemon as well. So this is a very good stab move that you have as well. And then Earth Power. And the reason why we are Terra type ground is with our spread that we have with Earth Power, if we go Terra Ground immediately and Earth Power a Goldengo, the Goldengo dies. So Terra Ground stab Earth Power kills Goldengo, as long as it's not like invested into HP. So if it's timid or modest and it's just like straight up special attack and HP, Terra Ground Earth Power kills them straight up. Goldengo is like legitimately the most used Pokemon in the format right now, so being able to Earth Power it to KO it straight out the gate is really good. Against any Goldengo teams, I highly recommend starting Glimmora. Glimmora is really good here. We have the 20 in HP, 244 in special attack, and 86 in speed. I believe this was meant to speed creep base 85, I think? I think it's meant to speed creep base 85, but it could also be base 84. Pretty sure it's 85, though. Then we have Salamence with Clear Amulet. This one's Terra type is Steel. Steel is objectively the best Terra typing in general. It can be used offensively and defensively, and has the most resistances of anything, as well as also being good for swapping your 4x weakness to Ice to a resistance to Ice, and also swapping your Fairy weakness for a Fairy resistance, which is very good. It also makes your Rock weakness a Rock resistance, which is, as I said before, very good. We also have Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Iron Head, and Tailwind. I feel like all of these are very good moves. To be fair, you could probably replace Dragon Claw. Yeah, actually, this shouldn't be Dragon Claw. This should be Rock Slide. I'm not sure why it was Dragon Claw. But Rock Slide, Earthquake, Iron Head, Tailwind is very good. It's good coverage. Earthquake and Rock Slide hit both Pokemon. Realistically, you might be able to change the Earthquake for Protect, but I like having different options for this, so this is my set for this. We also have Intimidate, Clear Amulet to make sure that our attacks aren't lowered, or our attack stage isn't lowered, or any of our other stats aren't lowered, so that's very nice. We have Intimidate, which lowers our opponent's attack by 1 stage, so we can swap in and lower our opponent's offenses, or if we lead, it's lowering our opponent's offenses immediately, so we can set Tailwind and hazards. And then we have Rock Slide to hit both Pokemon and potentially flinch them, Earthquake to hit hard on multiple Pokemon with a ground-type coverage move. We have Iron Head, which we can hit with Stab Iron Head if we Terra-type to Steel. Realistically, Earthquake is probably not the best bet here unless we protect into it, because we don't have an immunity to ground other than the air balloon if we swap in. So that's something to keep in mind. This might have just meant to be... This might have been meant to be Protect, but I don't think it's bad either. We have 36 in HP, 252 in attack, and 220 in speed. This speed creeps Arcanine, which is a very good thing to be speed creeping, considering how well Arcanine is doing in the meta as well. It speed creeps both Arcanine and Jolly Annihilape. I should also point that out. Hope you guys enjoyed this team. I really like the idea behind Annihilape and Maushold. I feel like it's a very good combination. There are probably some other things that you could use, but I definitely think that Annihilape, Maushold, Farigiraf, Glimmora are, like, 4 perfectly paired mons for each other. And then there are other Tailwind users that you could toss in here as well. You could toss in Murkrow, you could toss in Hydreigon, you could swap Grimmsnarl for something else. It could be a Sylveon if you wanted to go like a more special attacking route and then add in Hydreigon as a Tailwind setter. There's plenty of different options for this team. The main combination that I wanted to show off was Annihilape and Maushold, but I do hope that you'll give this a try. I very much have enjoyed playing around with this team and feel like Annihilape can make some big impacts. Hope you all enjoyed, hope you all have a great rest of your day, and as always, stay on guard.